Well, hello again. I am in the mood to make a crock pot chicken. I know it's still early in the summer, like August. What is today? I think it's like the 27th of August. And normally you save crock pot chickens for, the fall. You don't heat up your kitchen and all that, but not me. I think independently and my stomach tells me what to think. So I'm kind of in the mood for a good one. A seasoned, slow-cooked crock pot chicken. So I wasn't going to make a video, but I decided, what the heck, let's do it. There may be one or two of you that are interested. The recipe I got off the internet, as usual, when I get ready to cook something I've never really done before, or if I've already done it and like to make a change up, I'll go to several different YouTube videos of the same subject and pluck a little bit of this one, and pluck a little bit of this one, a little bit of this one, and come up with a whole new idea. So, but there's some people out there with some very good ideas on how to cook chicken in a crock pot. Let me tell you, I'm going to try 2 or 3 of them this winter. But right now we're going to go with a whole one. And the one thing I wanted to cover before we did, I'll be covering the chicken before I put it in the pot. I'll be covering it with olive oil, smearing it around. And then I'm going to put seasoning over the top of the olive oil, pat it all in, just rub it real good and everything. But one thing I wanted to pass along to you, whether it's true or false, I want you to know about it. I normally use Pompeian extra virgin olive oil. Never gave it much thought. I always figured it was good stuff. What the heck, and the price was reasonable. But then I saw a YouTube video the other day by a guy who's supposed to be some kind of a food guru, and he said, what you're getting when you buy this sort of thing is you're getting olives from different companies, different countries, that are, some of them are left over from the year before, maybe even 2 years before. They're somewhat rancid, they're sold cheap, and a company like Pompeian and others will buy this stuff up, squeeze all, cook it down, I guess, and squeeze all the olive oil out of it that they can get, filter it, pasteurize it, and sell it off as extra virgin olive oil. Well, he said on the back of the bottle it'll tell you all the countries that the oil came from, the olives came from. He said you really don't want that. You want one that comes from one source. California olive oil is one source from California. But stuff like this, let's take a look and see where this stuff is from. See if he's right. This olive oil, or the olives that made this olive oil, came from, I was shocked to tell you the truth, I never noticed it, came from Italy, Greece, Spain, Argentina, Tunisia, Turkey, Morocco, Chile, the United States, Uruguay, and Portugal. The guy in the YouTube video that told us about this, he said, yeah, that's all their leftover stuff that they just never sold, or I don't know, just the olives that weren't exactly full ripe like they should be. So I said, I guess I can go ahead and cook in this, like, in a fry pan or something. So I went out and decided to buy some real olive oil from Sicily. It's Frantoie Catera, whatever that means. I don't know what that, I guess that's the guy's name. So that's real Sicilian extra virgin olive oil. This is the spice blend that I put together that I'll be using to rub on the chicken after I apply the olive oil. It's, of course, you start with the olive oil, and then 3 tablespoons of smoked paprika. That gives it a nice reddish color, see it? 3 tablespoons. Because you want your chicken to have a nice reddish, cool looking cooked color. And then everything else is 1 teaspoon. And it's basil. The persons in the videos that I watch, they use fresh basil, and they use fresh rosemary, fresh thyme. I don't use that crap that often. That stuff would just wind up going bad. I wind up throwing most of it away, so I use everything in a bottle. I put a little bit of buttery poultry blend in there, just a tablespoon, and some chili powder, tablespoon, onion powder, tablespoon, sprinkled about, maybe a half a tablespoon of parsley over it. I just kind of eyeballed that. And I also added just a little bit of poultry seasoning to kind of complement this right here. Not much. I didn't go crazy on it. And then 1.5 tablespoons of salt to about 1/4 tablespoon of pepper. But you season these to what you want. Now you could also add, if you wanted, it's your chicken. You do it any way you want. You could add some of this Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, which is very good, or some of this body complete seasoning, which is very good also. I did not use it this time. I use that a lot. That's why I have a big bottle of this. So let me see, is there anything else? I think that's all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put onions in here, celery in here, garlic in here. Then I'm going to rub the chicken and I'm going to put that in on top of it. And then we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle some more on the top of the chicken. That might need it here, there, and everywhere. Then we're going to plug it in. I'm going to put it on high for 4 hours. So let's take that step by step. Alright, here goes the onions. I probably have more than I need. I'm just going to spread that around a little bit. Now we'll throw in the celery. Probably got more than that I need too. Celery's pretty good. I love celery. It's really good. Tasty. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put some garlic on there. Now I don't have garlic cloves. Again, I used the bottled minced Spice World stuff. I like it. Quicker, easier. I don't have to worry about any of the cloves going bad. If there's such a thing, I don't even know. Alright, let's get 4 or 5, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of that strategically placed. Alright, there's one. You got to kind of equal a clove, I guess. That's probably smaller than a clove, so I may add a little bit more. But I like garlic. I'm a garlic freak. Can't help it. I don't think there's any such thing as too much garlic. That doesn't quite look like enough, so I'll put a little bit more over here in the corner. That'll do it. One more thing, I had some chopped onions left over a few days ago from some dirty water hot dogs that I made for the family. And so I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle some of those in there, kind of give it an extra. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I just kept them around because I figured I was going to cook something. Sure enough, the chicken idea came to me 2 days ago. Alright, I think we're good to go. Now let's get the chicken ready. Inside here is my friendly little whole chicken I've been thawing out in the refrigerator overnight. That's looking real nice. She's looking real good. I've got to take the stuff out of the center, out of the cavity. But we'll get that thing out of there and get it set on a board here. Well, she's still a little frozen. Not much. I'm going to have to run water down in the cavity to get this paper bag full of the internals out of there. They always pack inside a turkey and a chicken. So once I get that loose and I pull that out of there, I'll give it another real good rinse and then a pat down and a dry prior to putting the oil on it. This was the bag of stuff you find in the cavity of the chicken. It's the heart and liver and gizzard and who knows what else. And they had interestingly, they had the chicken neck in there separate from the bag. But you got to be careful when you pull those things out of there because sometimes those chicken necks are broke off. I mean, you're not going to die from it or anything. You just have to take it out later on. So, and I trimmed off a few extra pieces from the chicken itself. I'll throw these out in the woods tonight for the animals. They like that kind of stuff. Now we pat down the entire chicken and try to get all the water off of it because I want that oil to stick. I'm going to pat it down top and bottom and make sure it's, make sure it's got a good surface for that oil to be rubbed all around. I'm going to rub the oil top and bottom, and I'm also going to put the seasoning top and bottom. A lot of your YouTubers, when they cook whole chickens, they only season the top. I don't like that. I want some on the bottom too, so it'll get into the it'll eventually fall into the mixture of this and form a really good broth at the bottom with the oil and everything, which will really come in handy toward the end of what we're doing. You'll see. Alright, she's been patted down 3 or 4 times. I think 4 times. You want to make sure you get as much off as you can. And now to put the motor oil on it. Drizzle some motor oil over it. All the way from Italian, right out of their cars. Now we're going to rub all that oil all over everything. And the reason I'm doing this is so I can get it all over my camera. And it'll just make it look really cool with all this shiny oil all over the push buttons and everything. Alright, now comes the fun part. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle this stuff. See that nice and red? Can you imagine that stuff all crock potted up and looking real good? Got plenty of this stuff. I made sure I made plenty of it because I always get it everywhere and never have enough whenever I season up anything. And kind of rub it in. I want the whole thing covered as much as possible. Even some on the inside. There's one lady did this, put it on the inside. She's the recipe I'm following mostly. I can't remember the name of it. I'll be able to put it up there on the screen when I finally edit the video. Put a little bit on the inside. All over on the inside if you can. Put it on the wings, on the legs. If you have to, you know, if you don't have enough, you just go ahead and make up another batch of seasoning. It's not that big a deal, okay? Oh, I ran out of seasoning. Well, make some more. It's not that big of a chore. You just take them all, take all your seasoning out, and tablespoon of this, tablespoon of that, and mix it all up. You don't have to put quite so much on the bottom because a lot of it's going to drip off the top anyway. But I like to, as I said, I like to have it everywhere. Alrighty, I think that's going to do it. So it's all done on the bottom and everything. Let's get it in the pot. A chicken in every pot. Alright, all I got to do now is plug it in, hit the switch, and wait for 3 hours, I guess. Come back and take a look at it. But I think I'm going to do one more thing before I do. I'm going to add some of this Body of Complete seasoning to the top. Not much. You know, I've always been an overkill guy anyway. It's the way it goes. Put some down in there. This stuff is really good. Trust me, if you haven't used it, it's great. Alright, I think that's going to be enough. Let's get the lid on, plug her in. Well, I've been outside working just in time. I came in and this baby, the alarm went off on the stove, so we're going to have to do a little temperature test here. Okay, I'm looking for about 165 degrees. We're going to stick it in the thickest part of the old chicken. Right now, its temperature in the house is 83. It's a little bit hot. I think 197 degrees is plenty, huh? Let's try it over here. Either that or this thing is, maybe I need to calibrate it. I don't know. Let me check this out. Well, that's what it is. 193.8. That's good enough for me. I have stuck it over here on warm. I should probably just go ahead and click it all the way off. What I'm going to have is, well, I'll tell you, that does look good though, doesn't it? I'll take if I can put a little bit of this juice up on top. Ooh. Ooh, man, look at that. Look at that. It smells so good, I can't tell you. I don't know if it's the chicken or the seasoning, one of the two, maybe both. Alright, and what I'm going to eat with that is some Idaho instant mashed potatoes. You know, I bought a bunch of these, I guess, a couple of years ago. I got them for $1 a piece at Walmart. I loaded up. I think I spent like 30 bucks on these or more. And I'm going to have some French style beans. I think it was more like $50. I think I spent 50 bucks on these. I just got bag after bag, all different kinds, whatever they had. I figured one day, you know, it's just powder. Can't go bad. Something to keep around. Good emergency food. The chicken has been removed and put on a drip tray here on an aluminum thing with a grill. And we're going to scoop out all the solids as much as we can and put them in that bowl over there. Then we're going to filter the rest through this cheesecloth. The last thing we do is we melt a big chunk of butter in a frying pan. Get it all melted. Once it's all melted, we're going to add some flour. Won't take long to do that. And then we're going to whisk it until the flour and the butter are mixed. And once that's done, we're going to add the drippings from the chicken. Now comes the flour. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. Maybe not. Then we just begin to stir it. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough. Okay, now comes the chicken stock, or the chicken whatever. It's probably going to look a little lumpy since I didn't have quite the amount of butter I needed, I guess. Now we're going to let it go ahead and simmer. Break the flour down. We're going to make it a gravy is what we're doing here. So let me drop off here till it starts to simmer. We're going to go ahead and let it simmer for about 3 minutes total, and then we got about another minute here. And then I'm going to taste it for salt and pepper and see if it needs any. Mix it in, and we're done. We can start loading up the plate. Now we put mashed potatoes on the plate. Put some of the chicken on top of the mashed potatoes. Like so. I'll probably add a little bit more. And I got the green beans in the microwave. Now we add some of the gravy over the top. It didn't need any salt, by the way. It tasted perfect. Get the green beans out. Head to the table. Well, here we go. I'm cutting off a piece with the mashed potatoes. I'll let you know if it tastes any good or not, or will it go to the dogs. Good grief. That really is good. Holy mackerel. And the chicken just falls apart. Well, that's pretty good. I'm probably going to eat another piece because I am really hungry. Well, that's it, guys. That's how I make a crock pot whole chicken because I was starving to death. I haven't eaten all day. Until next time, this is John.